Some people like my videos on health and others prefer my exercise videos. So I combine both in this low impact, all standing walking workout for all levels. So if you're sitting, stand up and join me for some heart pumping fun. I'm calling it a walk and talk workout. Today I'm discussing exercise, nutrition, health, MS, weight loss, and diabetes. If I knew then what I know now, there's a lot of things I would have done differently. For instance, when I was younger, I would have asked my mom to take me to gymnastics classes because maybe now I could touch my toes. My hamstrings are so tight. Maybe I could have been really flexible and taught yoga in college instead of being a receptionist and sitting in chairs all day. That's just awful. Sitting is so toxic for our bodies and being stuck indoors. I would have told myself, don't eat candy. Or at least don't have so much. I had a whole bunch of cavities. I remember I had 7 fillings and I had blood sugar lows when I was younger. You would get that high energy from the candy and then your blood sugar would drop really low. The other thing I would have told myself is don't drink alcohol. Don't succumb to peer pressure. It's not cute when you're drunk, no matter what outfit you're wearing. And I really made some stupid decisions. Also, I would have told myself, don't eat fried foods. Your skin would have been clear if you had stopped eating the greasy French fries and all the fried foods that I had eaten at that time. I remember in high school that I saw a video and it was about how eating animals is really cruel and that we should not eat animals. And I thought, oh wow, maybe I should become vegan. And I should have. I really wish I had become vegan at that time. I was pretty sick as a kid. I had asthma. I had colds a lot. I was taken out of school. I had flus that would last a really long time. And if you are taking away foods that cause inflammation and, all these antibiotics that are injected into the animals, we're eating that too. So we're eating what the animals eat. And I love animals. Most of us do. And I would have been healthier and my body would have been stronger and been able to fight against those colds and the flus. I would have made myself get the chickenpox vaccine when it was available in 1995 in the United States because I got the chickenpox as an adult. Like a lot of people, they get the chickenpox as a child, but I got it as an adult and I got really, really sick. And I ended up with type 1 diabetes because the virus in my body all attacked my pancreas so that it wasn't functioning properly. And yeah, that's why I am a type 1.5 diabetic today. I would have taken my dad out of the assisted living facility after he was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis. I would have brought him to my house and I would have given him green smoothies, just like Dr. Brick Goldner recommends for anyone with autoimmune disease. Now, MS is an autoimmune disease, which I've got too. I've got diabetes, which is an autoimmune disease. But her smoothies are healing. They have reversed or at least halted the progression of MS. So I would have put a bunch of greens and water and the omega-3s from chia seeds and just blended it up in a blender and just had him drink that every day. And I bet he would have been better. And I also would have brought him outside and given him lots of sun because people who have MS typically have really low vitamin D levels. And I know that he had very low vitamin D, as a lot of us do. And I also would have had him get massages so people can help move his joints and muscles, because it was really awful watching him decline in that horrible way. I wish I didn't become friends with certain people or dated certain men. Some people are just awful and mean, and it's not very nice. I would have told myself, you need to sleep on your back. Do not sleep on your side. So when I was sleeping on my side, I would end up with shoulder pain, and then I favored a certain side, and over the years, that side of my face is more wrinkles and is not as lifted as the other side. So over time, it really shows, and I want to look as young as I can for as long as I can. I also would have told myself, don't rub your eyes, even if they itch. I rub my eyes so hard, and my mom would say, stop doing that. And I'm sure that's why my eyelids are not as taut as they should be. After I was diagnosed with diabetes, I remember going to a bookstore with my husband, and he said, do you want this book? And it was a book by Dr. Neal Barnard for reversing diabetes. And I said, no. He should have bought that for me, and I should have got that book. And the reason why I didn't is because I had a sit down with a nutritionist after I was diagnosed at the hospital, and she told me what I should eat, and she showed me a plate, and then she said, a quarter of your meal should be protein, a quarter should be carbs that are super highly glycemic, like pasta, and the other half should be vegetables. Well, that's better than the standard American diet, but that's completely wrong. What I should have done is followed a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet, because that's actually healthy, and it'll get your blood sugars more stable, and then you're not eating so much fat, because fat is actually what makes your blood sugar higher, because the fat blocks the sugar that's in your blood vessels from getting into the cells. And you know, at that time, I had better pancreatic function. I probably had more beta cells, and maybe I would have been better today, because at that time, they started me on oral medication. And those oral medications, they burn out your pancreas. And they usually say, 2 to 3 years. And my pancreas got burned out from that medication in less than a year. I mean, maybe if I had started that diet early, maybe I wouldn't have needed medication at all. Who knows? A healthy diet is one where we reduce protein, fat, and calcium, and don't consume milk, fish, yogurt, ice cream, eggs, butter, beef, pork, chicken, lamb, or cheese. That's the worst of them. These foods cause cancer, hormone imbalances, acne, leaky gut, autoimmune disease, diabetes, and weight gain. Our bodies make all the cholesterol we need. When we eat animal products, which contains cholesterol, our bad cholesterol levels become elevated. We also want to avoid oil, sugar, chips, juices, pretzels, honey, crackers, coconut oil, maple syrup, dried fruit, soda, and pastries. We want to eat the majority of our food from healthy carbs like potatoes, mangoes, peas, blueberries, bananas, quinoa, which is a grain, oatmeal from oat groats, and black beans. I love my fruit smoothies made with my homemade hemp milk. You can make delicious recreations of taco meat and ground beef from lentils and beans. I bake, season, and crumble tofu to make the best tasting chicken and fish. We need to eat greens like arugula and Brussels sprouts daily. We want to eat raw nuts and seeds and avoid roasted and salted nuts and seeds. I grind my flax seeds and mix in cinnamon to make healthy graham cracker crumbs. We want to eat small portions of good fats like avocado, because too much of any fat makes us sick and fat. I wish someone had told me how toxic synthetic insulin is. I just thought the side effects from insulin on the packaging were for people who are non-compliant, or they were eating horribly, they weren't exercising, that they were obese, or they were old and they didn't follow the protocol that their doctor recommended, or that their A1C, their blood sugar levels were super, super high and uncontrollable. But it's not just those things. Synthetic insulin is super toxic. It causes cellular damage. So it's not just about blood sugar control. If I had known that, I wouldn't have eaten things that I really like tortilla chips and vegan ice cream, which requires more insulin. So I thought, okay, I just need to add more insulin and then I'll just have good blood sugar control. It doesn't really matter what I eat, because they said what you eat matters a little bit. It's more important to have good blood sugar control. But all that insulin over the years has caused severe damage to my body. Insulin is a hormone, whether you take it or whether your body makes it. And if your hormones are out of whack, your whole body's out of whack. I was injured I had at least 2 or 3 injuries at a time, and it took so long for my body to heal. And I had no problems prior to taking the medications, the insulin, and getting sick. I was sick all the time. I would always have colds, and I had trouble growing my muscles, and getting lean was really tough. I blame all that on the insulin. I also wish I knew the importance of salads, greens, for its healing benefits, because I didn't realize that is what heals your body. So if I had a huge salad every day, that would have helped all my injuries heal quicker. I know I can't go back in time, but others can learn from my mistakes. I've changed my eating habits and lifestyle, and know that if given the right tools, like eating salads, fruit, and avoiding foods that cause inflammation and disease, like animal products, sugar, oils, processed foods, and alcohol, getting enough sleep and sunshine, and drinking enough water, my body can heal itself. No matter what your genetics, no matter what your parents had, your grandparents had, you can prevent a lot of diseases and problems by what you do and what you eat. Diet's not 100%. I learned that recently. I thought, well, if you have a perfect diet, then you're good in the clear. But no, if you're dehydrated, if you're not sleeping enough, if you're super stressed, if you're around people that stress you out, if you have a job you hate, then that's not going to allow you to heal. So I thought that was really, really interesting. The mental aspect plays a huge part in our health. And I remember having jobs I absolutely hated, and I was miserable, and I was sick all the time. And when I started working from home, not only was I not around all those sick people, but I was happier. I was in control, and I felt so much better. And now I get sick something like once a year. I also get my flu shot, so that helps as well. I used to get really sick from the flu every year, with a fever, a barfing episode, chills, and a violent cough that lasted for weeks. The last time my husband and I had the flu, we were sick for a month and coughing so hard, we called it coughing up lung cookies, because it felt like our organs were being expelled. It was after that we both got our annual flu shots. And we only get a mild flu for a few days once a winter, if at all. What we do when we're younger, they say, oh, you can do anything when you're young. It doesn't matter. Actually, that's when the injury starts to your body. So you don't notice the side effects, the weight gain, the injuries, the cancer when you're young, typically. you see that when you're older. So it takes years and years for disease and conditions to develop and worsen. It's just the accumulation of all these insults over time, which causes disease. So when you're younger, you don't want to just eat anything. And that's why it's really important for moms and dads to let their kids go out in the sun and play and not get stuck in the house, and why the kids really need to eat healthy food, lots of fruits and vegetables, and have kids eat salads. And if they don't like salads, throw a bunch of fruit on the salad and hide that in there. It's really important to start young, have the kids start eating healthy when they're young and exercising. And you know, exercise is amazing. It not only lifts you up, but it reverses DNA damage. That's like this coolest thing. So yeah, I exercise all the time, and I love it, and I think it's really fun, and I don't understand when other people don't enjoy it, but you just got to find exercises that you really like and want to do. Hopefully you learned some new information that will help you, your friends, your family, and I hope you really enjoyed this workout, and I hope to see you soon.